years, and it's this week in Disney for July 25th to July 31st.
Hanging in there.
Yep, we didn't make it to August quite yet, and I'm fine with that. The summer's going way too fast. I needed to slow down.
Sparing us from that August heat yet another week.
And it doesn't feel like we've been doing a ton this summer, but it's just going fast. For sure.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but I guess we have.
I don't know how much more we could do.
I'm just saying there have been some fun at home hanging out time too, which is always nice as well. But we did have fun last week. We checked out
the first food and wine experience for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Had a little bit of poutine, which was not a seasonal offering.
No, we just wanted some.
Yeah, but of course hit up those Brazilian cheese buns backed by popular demand. So should be.
Miles and I really love them. You like them too, right?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah,
Very
they're good.
So.
They're good for sure.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Also had some saganaki.
The griddled cheese.
The grilled cheese in Greece.
Yeah.
Could be a little bit more griddle, but go over to the podcast to hear about that.
Yeah. And we have lots more to take in, so we've got to get back.
So much.
But there's so much to do at Disney. We'll see what happens.
It was nice. It was a great evening.
I still think it would be cool, like we had talked about a week or two ago, how they had a festival at Animal Kingdom. I think that would be cool to have some festivals.
We tried it,
At Animal Kingdom in particular, I think it's kind of built for festivals. It can handle it.
Yeah. We tried it in the evening with Ratatouille, but it was down, and it was very interesting because I heard other people sharing that there had been several rides down at Hollywood. They had gotten their little like fast passes like extended to like go over to Epcot, and then they got here, which they couldn't have done Ratatouille anyways, and they didn't realize it. But just the dialogue, like whoa, breakdowns. Crazy.
It was crazy.
Summer.
So much going on, and so much going on in the past. So let's get to this week, starting off with June 25th, 1936. Disney's Mickey Mouse cartoon Alpine Climbers is released. Yep, and you have, obviously they're climbing through the Alps, and there's just all this animal interaction that would be really typical of an Alps situation. But what's really cool is Donald Duck is there, and there's
ducks in the Alps.
Well,
good flyer.
St. Bernard with Pluto.
Okay.
And they have this whole experience. And St. Bernards, they usually have like the little, what is it? It's like
the barrel on their chest?
Barrel with...
Like a whiskey in it.
Medicinal alcohol.
And,
the St. Bernard has to give that to Pluto.
Warm them up.
They become good old pals, basically, from that experience.
I would imagine. Feed the dog a barrel of whiskey.
Yeah, go check out this cartoon. It's really interesting. Really, really fun. But then moving on to July 26, 1955, Walt Disney and actor Fess Parker appear on the front of Look magazine. And what's cool is Fess Parker is dressed up as Davy Crockett. And there's a whole spread about Davy Crockett in there.
Coonskin cat.
The show, but also like what's going on at Disneyland. And then Walt is on the cover, and there's a whole piece on Walt Disney as well. So you can check. There's a lot about this online if you want to check it out and read the articles or see the pictures. I love seing those.
A cat that lives in the Smithsonian today.
Exactly. A really important historical thing that happened there. But Fess Parker was so popular back then for his character. So iconic. Really, like Iron Man of today, sort of. Would you say?
Our country bears still sing his praise.
Absolutely. So, Davy Crockett.
Of course.
All right, moving on to July 27th. Okay, going back to 1877. Can you imagine? That's cool. That was going back a while. Actress, she's a big voice actress for Disney. You know her well. Florence Gill is born in London, England. And she is the, would you say, chicken lady? Or hen. She does all the voices for like Clara Cluck, She does any of the chicken voices, like Mother Hen, all of those, all of those voices. So she's in The Wise Little Hen, the Walk, Mickey's Grand Opera, Mother Pluto, and the Mickey Mouse Theater of the Air, which was a 1938 radio show that Disney did.
There you go.
I wasn't even aware of. But yeah, she does all the
hens.
The hens
Girl knows
voices
the hen house.
for Disney. Like, I can just imagine them, Walt being like, okay,
she is a hen house.
We have another, hen or chicken character. Call Florence and get her over here. She had a career that spanned from, radio to television, mostly voice acting, but she was on certain shows as well. But yeah, she had that iconic voice.
There you go.
So you'll have to go check out, like the Mother Hen or any of those. Yeah.
There you go.
And then moving on to July 28th, 1951. This was a big day for Disney because Disney's 13th animated feature film, Alice in Wonderland, is released.
There you go.
In theaters. Yes, so obviously this is based on Lewis Carroll's book about Alice.
Yes.
And it's iconic, right?
Beyond lives in and out of Disney and all lives and
Right.
cultures and music and art.
Yeah, for sure.
Sensational, and its message very clear throughout Alice. I mean, they did a wonderful job with it.
Yeah, they really, really did.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting because Mary Blair had a big influence on the art for it, and there was other art that styles that they used or were looking at, but Walt wanted to get away from the animate or the art that was used in the books and make it more original to
well accomplished
what they were doing. And so that's why Mary Blair was so important, because she brought a different art sense and more modern, as she did.
And her palette. I mean, you were dealing with Lewis Carroll in the books, black and white ink illustrations, so there was no color palette. Yeah. So in some ways, Mary Blair.
Also, there was a consideration to make this a live action film, and they were going to use Ginger Rogers in it. So that was kind of interesting to find out.
Went a totally different direction. It would have changed Disney completely.
They were going to use something called a sodium vapor process in the live action film to bring the characters in. Really, really interesting, but they didn't
kind of
go
glad
there
it
yet.
went the way it went, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think
it could have really hurt animation even.
I don't know. It was 1951. I mean, they did start making more and more like action films, but I love this film. It's hard to see it another way, so I'm really, really glad they stuck with
it wouldn't have had
what
the same
they were
reach.
Doing. Definitely. But it was some awesome stars. Catherine Beaumont was Alice, and it was a big, wonderful film at the time. And surprisingly, I thought it was nominated for Academy Award for Best Scoring of Musical.
Okay.
For the picture.
That's fun.
Yeah. Would you think that? I would think it would win for the artistic view of it. I'm surprised at how many Disney films went on music over.
Well, to be honest,
what else they were doing.
To be honest, it is like over a decade ahead of its time and its look. I mean, we're very accustomed to that look now, but it was
forward
revolutionary.
Thinking. It's interesting you say that because it didn't actually do well in the 50s when it was released, but when they re-released it in the 70s, it did extremely well.
There you go.
So you're right, it was ahead of its time.
Yes.
And we love it. It's a great film. For
sure. I mean, and I wonder, I hate to say this, but I wonder too, what is the relationship between Jefferson Airplane and the White Rabbit song in like
Sure,
people's
there's
like
lots.
consciousness and this film. Like you have these kids growing up, then you have them having that song, then you have the success of the film in the 70s. Like, is it related that it completely became part of our like culture, that it found success in the 70s? I mean, not just acceptance of the animation, but like as icon of life.
Well, and there's other things too that made it popular in the 70s, which we'll keep it clean.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying.
No.
No? Well, you do. But anyway, it's a great movie and one of our favorites for sure. But so before we move on, celebrate on July 28th Alice in Wonderland, if you would like. And then moving on to July 29th, 2014. I thought this was cool because it was important to us, and I don't really talk about soundtracks, but Guardians of the Galaxy Awesome Mix Volume 1 came out.
Okay.
And I remember this specifically because we got this right away and played it over and over again. This was like really big in our family.
We were very excited for Guardians of the Galaxy. Even though it was unproven, we were very excited.
Yeah, so a lot of music from the 70s on this one, like Blue Suede and the Raspberries and Elvin Bishop, Fooled Around and Fell Down, all those songs. I mean, you know it.
But why talk about a soundtrack? Why talk about it? I mean, because it changed. I mean, James Gunn changed everything with this soundtrack. It completely changed the direction of the MCU. I mean, we got Thor Ragnarok, heavily based on music, and films from every studio building classic rock soundtracks and it being essential to an action film.
Right.
Because of James Gunn.
Well, technically, I mean, Ragnarok does have a great soundtrack, but it's using Led Zeppelin twice. But both times that they use Led Zeppelin in that film, that song, it's like totally needed. Like, you want to hear it again at the end, you know?
And Love and Thunder falls in the fact that it only pays Led Zeppelin, it seemed like, the whole time for music.
No, Guns N' Roses, you mean?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much.
So I'm wondering how that's doing with everyone.
Interesting.
They're loving. I know for us, technically, our 14-year-old is like enjoying Guns N' Roses prior to watching the film. So for him, it really hit. Like he enjoyed it. But I don't know if all kids or all people
I think everyone's embracing
thinking about Guns N' Roses. I hope so. I mean, I think it does well. But.
From James Gunn to Guns N' Roses. It's all good. It's going on. Soundtracks. Moving movies forward.
And this was something where the mixtape, come on, like you and I we had our mixtapes. Did you guys have your mixtapes? Because we did, and we loved them. And so having like this space, you know, epic film, and then the lead character has these mixtapes.
From
his
really
relatable for everybody.
So
even if you didn't grow up with mixtapes, I'm sure you thought it was cool. So anyway, moving on to July 30th, 1948. This Disney cartoon is so interesting to me. It's called The Trial of Donald Duck.
And you know it's about time.
He literally goes on trial for just like a misunderstanding about a abnormally huge bill at a restaurant, but they go through his whole experience. No.
Is it a recap of like previous
antics? No.
No.
It's just all about this restaurant and everything. But he's on trial and it's really intense. It's totally like Perry Mason. And this is animator Jack King is gonna retire, so this is his last Donald Duck cartoon, and I just thought this was interesting because I love this concept and I love the story of it, and so it's kind of too bad.
Almost putting his work on trial on accident. Very fun.
But also leaving on a high note. I think this was a really interesting cartoon. It's really fun. So go check it out. 1948, The Trial of Donald Duck. And then moving on to 1956, something I love, but has been gone from Disneyland for a long time. The Mineral Hall exhibit opened in 1956. So it was operated by Ultraviolet Productions, and the Mineral Hall featured, it was a free experiment exhibit, but it was like a science experiment. You could just check out all these minerals, but you could also, there was a shop. So
Oh,
you buy
there you go.
buy the minerals, buy all
Gemstones.
sorts of gemstones.
Yeah.
I really love this. We did this.
Oh, like in Lake Geneva,
We
or
used
not?
to go to Wisconsin
Yeah,
Dells,
Wisconsin
and there was a
Dells.
fun shop that I
Yeah.
love that kind of stuff.
Every tourist spot has a gem shop.
Yeah, so kind of sad they don't have it at Disney World or Disneyland. I do really miss these kind of shops. Like, I get they're high on IP, whatever, but I think having
Hopefully it'll come back eventually.
you know, perfume shops, at least they do this kind of thing in the World Showcase a little bit with the different countries, but having a mineral thing in Frontierland would be really cool for sure. And I think people would, I don't know, I would buy minerals
in Frontierland for sure.
Yes, definitely.
For sure.
Definitely. Okay, and then moving forward to same day, 1999, and this is July 30th, so another big important day you guys might want to celebrate. If you love this ride, Rockin' Roller Coaster opens officially to guests at Walt Disney World. So this was really, really exciting time. Obviously, this was the first, like, you're going 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.8 seconds.
Yeah.
And I know, of course, a lot of cars can do these types of things now, but not everyone. I mean, this is so cool. An indoor roller coaster, 3 inversions, obviously
backstage passes,
rock concert lighting, and it was specifically created with the Aerosmith soundtrack.
That's right.
Yeah. So yes, with 120 onboard speakers in each coaster train. So it was a first class Walt Disney World attraction, and it was huge. It is huge. We love it. And you know what I thought was interesting is this Florida ride being inside.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that was really smart to get it inside. The dark is really cool, but also air conditioning or rain. Like, there's just so many elements here that take rides out, you know, and so you know that at least there's these rides that are going to be indoors, like the new Guardians as well. So there's a version of this at Disneyland Paris, and apparently they're remodeling that into an Iron Man.
Oh, lovely.
So yeah. Could be fun.
I hope ours is an Incredicoaster one day. I wanted it to be Monsters Inc., but
yeah, we'll see what happens.
All the doors,
so many people love it. It's just how it is too.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah. But speaking of that, I mean, they've never really changed. Not that I'm aware of. Tell me in the comments if you know. But they haven't really changed the soundtrack with this one. Yeah, so as far as my thoughts on if the songs would change for Guardians, I mean, they haven't changed anything with this one. So maybe maybe not. We'll
Pump,
see.
and then the next album, where all the jams are before those too.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and then our last day of the week already, July 31st, 1929, the Mickey Mouse cartoon short, The Karnival Kid, is released. This is really important, and the reason why it's so important is because it's the first word that Mickey says, which
hot dog.
Yeah, hot dog.
Sorry, I didn't mean to steal it.
You stole the thunder. No, it's cool.
Stole the hot dog.
Yeah, I'm sure you like the hot dogs. But what's interesting about this, go look at this one. It's 1929, so don't expect like color or anything like that, you know. As many of you guys have followed along, you know, what the black and whites were like. But I really like this one. I think visually what they were doing, there's just like so much going on that even though it's not in color, it's visually very appealing because it's a carnival and there's just like Minnie is in there and she's a shimmy dancer and Mickey's selling the hot dogs and there's just so much visually going on. Also, as an adult Mouseketeer, Roy Williams will be inspired to make the iconic Mickey Mouse ears hat from this cartoon.
There you go.
So that's another reason why it's so important.
Every time you don the ears.
Yeah, so go watch Karnival
Kid.
It's a good one for sure. Check it out. And lastly this week, 1960 at Disneyland, the Sunkist house opens on Main Street.
Wow.
Okay, so this was owned by the Perricone Citrus Company.
Okay.
And you could get fresh squeezed orange juice here, lemonade, lemon meringue pies, all these orange cheesecake, all these bakery items. This stuff was all fresh made and brought in. So it's going to remain open until June 1989. Then it becomes the bakery.
All right. When you first said it, I thought like, oh my goodness, were they giving away those? Was it like Sunkist Company, and they were giving away those little sugar-covered jelly circles? I was like,
orange
all
juice,
excited
and lemonade,
for
fresh squeeze.
Fresh baked,
but
all
there was
citrus.
another Sunkist thing in another part of, I think it was near Frontierland. But anyway, that was more popular, so that's partly why they changed this.
Okay.
Because there was 2 different areas to get, So, but I think it makes sense to have a Main Street bakery.
Sounds like there's 2 sons kissing, or two sons fighting when they should have been kissing, and they had to shovel him down.
But I really like the idea of all these fresh made things being made at a bakery and brought in every day. That is a wonderful thing.
Oh, it is.
And so, you know.
We used to go to a wonderful family restaurant where we lived previously many years ago. And the mother of the company or of the restaurant like made all the stuff fresh. It's just so wonderful.
It is wonderful. You can only get those in small town. That's why it's like a Main Street thing. You expect it to be fresh and homemade. But the other thing that you made me think of is with bakery items and cakes and pies is those circular display cases.
Yes.
I know those aren't very common.
They say that if you have those, you sell 40% more bakery items.
Disney needs to get some.
And I think you can see how that's true.
It's so appetizing seeing things go around and around. You want to get more than one for sure. But that's it for this week in Disney. Lots going on. You got to celebrate Alice in Wonderland and Rock and Roller Coaster.
Don't forget the hen lady.
Yes, definitely Florence. She's definitely special to Disney history. Thanks for following along, you guys. And, like and comment if you will. And give us a follow. We would really appreciate it. We're also on Instagram. And now we have our podcasts as well on Apple Podcasts. Yeah, that one. All year sphere. So check it out. And we will see you guys next time. Bye.